Good morning. I'm joined up on stage by Odd Magdarodzev, who's the chairman of the board of Aquagen, and also by Nuno Coelho, who's the CEO of A4F. Odd Magda, I'd like to start with you. Perhaps if you could start by just telling me a little bit about your journey to become chairman of the board, how you came to be where you are, but also a little bit about what Aquagen does.
Yeah, it has been a quite long journey, but a quite simple one. I started up as a fish farmer back in the late 70s, early 80s. Found out that this was too immature. Let's go to the university and build up some knowledge. So I never returned to the industry, to put it like that. My background is as a research scientist for 10 years. Then I left for the pharmaceutical industry, developed vaccines for 10 years before I joined the genetics 10 years ago, or 12 years ago. And this was, I think, in a very correct point of time. This was just when it started to move from the old platform of Darwin and Mendel into the more exciting part when you start to explore the genes and be able to select animals based on the genetic profile. So that has been really an exciting journey. Now I'm out of the operational part, joined the owner company of Aquagen and are sitting in a board, yes.
And you were CEO up until a short while ago.
Exactly. I had my 10 years. I'm totally exhausted now. So no. It's been. We are mainly involved in the salmonid value chain. The Atlantic salmon, the rainbow trout, as well as the coho salmon. Running different programs on that. That's exactly what we are doing.
And if you look at the opportunities and the challenges which your company faces, how would you describe the main opportunity and the main challenge?
I think the challenge is the main opportunity, and that is to make a more sustainable industry, and that's mainly to try to develop a more robust, a more adapted fish to an intensive production situation. So much of our effort, I mean, during the first 10, 20 years of genetics, the main focus was productivity, increased productivity. Now we have of course a much richer and much cheaper toolbox that enable us to also focus on disease resistance and robustness. And I think that is our main focus now. Try to develop an animal that can withstand all the challenges, all the stressful condition you find in an intensive meat production system.
Oh, you've been in the industry quite a long time now.
Yep.
What's the passion that drives you? What gets you up in the morning and gets you into your office and excites you most about the biomarine industry?
Oh, no, it makes sense. We produce food for sure, and we have heard of all the challenges. Either by growth of population, loss of biodiversity, climate change. All these things are important. I think we play a very important role, and especially we heard about bioeconomy, biomass, bioproduction, and we all know bio means life, and in all life, the genes are the motor. So in order to be able to produce system that, on the bottom line, produce more from less, that is an extreme, a good way of wake up in the morning, to put it like that.
And if there was one thing that you could change within the biomarine industry, change for the good, what would that change be?
I think that the change has to be to develop more cost-effective production system where the input factors are less and the output is increasing. So it's a matter of developing a system for cost-effective production of biomass. So easy and so difficult.
In Norway has been, I dare to say, quite instrumental and one of the leaders in the vertical integration along the value chain, particularly within aquaculture. Is that model sustainable? And how do you see your role within that model and that value chain?
I think it's, let's say, the innovation, the innovative power in the value chain is normally contributed by the suppliers, like the vaccine industry or pharmaceuticals, like the genetics. So I think still it's important that I'm a little bit concerned about the huge consolidation. One thing is the horizontal consolidation, another thing is the vertical one, which more or less has a have a consequence of reducing competition and reducing the pull forces from the value chain to the supply industry. And I think I think that's a dangerous development.
And what's the point, if you look at Norway and you look at the biomarine industry globally, the innovation which is so important and which is driving this, where's that energy and where's it coming from? Is it driven by smart young people or is it driven by the growth of the industry? What's driving the innovation?
Yeah, point one, I think we are a quite lucky position. We have a strong, very profitable value chain in the Atlantic salmon, and that drives it all, doesn't it? I mean, they are very, very eager in inspiring new solutions and create a large environment for innovation. But then I think it's important to use this power not only to support the value chain of salmon, but also transfer this to other sectors within the biomarine sector. And that's actually what we are seeing now, that all these new ideas have application far longer than into the salmon chain.
And I guess from that, you feel very positive about the level of innovation is strong and forceful in Norway.
Yes, absolutely. I am quite happy about the situation, that's right. You have all the components that you need in order to get a strong innovation chain, both demanding and financial powerful user, and university and the government that is able to support the knowledge generation in the system.
And my final question would be, you've been a CEO, you said after 10 years you were exhausted and you've now become chairman. When you were CEO and today in your new role as chairman of the board, what's the one thing that occupies most of your time when you're in the office?
Right now, it's again, we have built up a very powerful technology platform. It has been industrialized, it has been implemented, it creates cash flow. We should exploit the possibility to transfer this technology to other sectors, other species. That's my main motivation today.
Odd Magda, thank you very much indeed. I'd like to turn to Nuno, who's the CEO of A4F. Nuno, I'd like to start by asking you the same question that I asked Odd Magda at the beginning, which is, can you just describe the journey that you've been on to your role as CEO, and also tell the audience a little bit about what A4F does and how you're involved in the biomarine industry?
Okay, thank you. I have to confess I'm a little bit worried because I'm a CEO just for 6 years and not just said after 10 years he became exhausted and I'm just half away, so I'm a bit concerned about that. Let's see how I can handle my energy until the 10th year of what. I actually have a degree on mechanical engineering, and I've been for the last 15 years managing innovative companies and startup companies. This is what brought me first to the A4F company. We are a biotech company. We design and produce systems to industrially produce microalgae. We have just put in place here in Portugal the largest unit in the world to produce microalgae on photobioreactors. It's quite a large system, 1,300 cubic meters. It's running smoothly, but it's a huge challenge. Related to the second part of your question, what do we do related with this biomarine industry? We definitely focus on producing microalgae. We produce food-grade Chlorella vulgaris, and we are selling it for the food market. It's again a huge challenge because we also have to educate the market. Market is ready in some parts of the world, a bit late in other parts, so there's an education program on chlorella for the market.
We were talking before, and you showed me a video of the new facility and what it looks like. And at the same time, you said it was a huge challenge with this new facility. What do you mean by that?
Well, actually, it's not possible to develop this without developing technology. There's no off-the-shelf products if you want to put in place such a unit on microalgae. So you have to design from scratch every piece of equipment that you'll be needing. So it's just not designing a unit, it's actually designing every part of the unit. And sometimes you have to adapt parts, for instance pumps. We're not going to design pumps, obviously. So you have to design some parts, and you have to adapt some parts, and those type of adaptations sometimes you have challenges and surprises. So it's really daily mindset of overcoming challenges.
You've got an established business. You said it's one of the oldest businesses in the world of micro. It's one of the oldest businesses in the world of microalgae. You've got a strong team of people working with you. How have you built and developed that team, and where have you found the talent to go and help you to not only get the opportunity, but also realize and overcome the challenges?
Actually, this is also a challenge, because somehow you don't have people already trained to this type of companies, to produce microalgae, to design systems for microalgae, etc. So actually we had to train them. We were very lucky, also able from the beginning to have very, very good and talented people with us. So our initial team was really very good, and when you have a very good initial team, it's easy for you to grow. But that has been one of my personal concerns and responsibilities since the beginning. Try to hire the best people and to maintain them as happy as possible in such an environment, hard environment, where CEOs after 10 years are completely exhausted.
If you woke up in the morning and you got your crystal ball beside your bed and you could look 10 years forward, how do you think the market and the world of microalgae will look?
We are pretty confident that microalgae will play a decisive role in our future. As you all are aware, they are on the base of the food chain of the planet, so anything you want, the best quality you want, you can get from microalgae, either protein, vitamin, fatty acids, whatever. So they will play a decisive role. And in the future, they will have a huge, huge range of applications. We are facing now a kind of problem, egg and chicken. There is no enough production in the world, and so the companies don't look for that. The price is still a bit high. So in the future, we'll have microalgae, several different species. This is one of the challenges we have, trying to push that other species of algae are approved, for instance, as human food, safe human food. And the future will be like that. I mean, microalgae would be commodity, many different species, and hopefully we'll be able to develop technology so the prices will get much lower.
You said you've built your team, and your team has been very important to you as the company has developed. What would your advice be to a young person studying at university, considering and coming into the world of biomarine and microalgae? What would your advice be to them?
First of all, there are lots of different companies on the biotech industry. Here are two represented, but many others are there. The challenges are huge. Look for a company where you think you'll be happy to work. That's my main advice. Look at all of them and think, I think I'll be happy working with this team and for this purpose.
Nuno, thank you very much indeed. And so thank you both to Odd Magna and also Nuno, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.